Time for the multicolored cards, the actual fun ones. Alright. Oh, I didn't say what I thought about green. There's some cards that I like in green. But green, honestly, with the -1/-1 stuff being in a lot of the other colors, green didn't have any of the things I was really super excited for, right? I mean, there was this one, but that was kind of it. The Aurora Awakener is obviously very, very strong. Well, like a lot of the elf stuff, I don't really. I like Mutable Explorer as well. This guy's cool. But yeah, not as much as I'm usually excited about in green. It does still have the biggest things, I guess, or the largest collection of big things, but nothing that really blew my socks off. Which is sad, because I usually really like green. Again, maybe I'm just a bit more biased because I'm liking the -1/-1 stuff, but I feel like maybe like black and red are like my two favorites in this color, in this set. Like, I think I put white above black, but I don't think so, because black has that vile -1/-1 guy, which I think is such an enabler for the Blight deck. So I think maybe colors this set round. I think blue is my least favorite. Surprise, surprise. Then white, then green, then black, then red. Or maybe red, then black. Well, no, because black didn't really have any good removal. I don't know. Maybe the multicolor stuff will sort of help me out a little bit on deciding what I like. Anyway, starting with Abigail, Eloquent First Year, who is white-black. He's a 2-mana 1/1 flying first strike lifelinker. And when he enters up to one other type creature loses all abilities, put a flying counter, a first strike counter, and a lifelink counter on that creature. Okay, so you just turn one creature into a flying first strike lifelinker. So all you care about is stats. Sure. I mean, what did we see that we care about giving? There was nothing massive in black and white. Because like there was what is it? There was the 7/7 with Menace, the -1/-1 payoff thing. But it's still going to keep the -1/-1 counters, right? Because it entered with them on. So you play that on turn 1 because it's a 1-mana 1/1, and then you play this on turn 2, and that other thing is just stuck with 6 -1/-1 counters on it, even if it is a flying first strike lifelinker. So like, I mean, this does say turn any like 4/4 and bigger into a serious threat. But like, I mean, first strike is a great yeah. I mean, again, if you can just put this on any 4/4 or bigger, this thing is it just turns it into an immediate threat. So I don't hate it, but yeah, it's just a bit it's a bit weird. Ashling's Command. Okay, 5-mana instant. Choose 2. Create a token that's a copy of target elemental. Sure. Target player draws 2 cards. Great. 2 damage to each creature target player controls. Probably the weakest. Target player creates 2 treasure tokens. This is just good, right? Even if you just go draw 2 cards, create 2 treasure tokens, that's really good. It does cost 5. But then technically it refunds 2. Eh. Um. I think this might be a bit too expensive to be really good. Don't get me wrong, it's still good. I think it's still a good card. But I think 5 mana is a bit too much. Right? Because, like... Yeah, I think this is just kind of too expensive. 5 mana, draw 2 cards, deal 2 damage to each creature. Sure. I mean, the deal 2 damage to each creature, if you're up against a bunch of, like, tokens and shit, is going to be soul-crushing. Maybe create a token that's a copy of target elemental is insane as well, because that token doesn't go away. That token sticks around. You'd have to definitely know you're going elementals for this. I think this is one of those, like, if I am 100% in elementals, this is a card I want. If I'm not, it's not just like I'm in blue, let's splash red for this. I don't think it's that good. Boggart Cursed Crafter. 2 mana for a 2/3 with Death Touch. Whenever a goblin you control dies, this deals 1 damage to each opponent. Sure. Again, another, like, aristocrats effect thing. Sure. Yeah, like, not insane, not terrible. I mean, it's a 2 mana 2/3 with Death Touch. So that's pretty good. The second part, it will whittle your opponent down eventually. Bray of Clan Stout Arm. A 4 mana 4/4. Already good. Which has 2 mana, tap another type creature you control gains flying and lifelink until end of turn. Getting better. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, which she can do herself, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost if the spell's mana value is less than or equal to the amount of life you gained this turn. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This is good. Like, you need another creature to make this good. But I think she just makes any creature good, right? I don't know. Well, she's an extra draw, right? Because, like, even if you just do this on a 1/1, and the 1/1 swings, and the 1/1 hits, you gain a life. And then, at the beginning of your end step, you search for your next non-land card, and then just put it into your hand. Unless it costs 1, which it's not going to, I don't imagine. So you just put it into your hand. That's still an extra draw, right? You do have to tap her for that, though. And the creature, because the creature has to attack unless it has vigilance. I still think she's good. I still like it. Like, draw in white is just good. I don't know what red-white is doing. Giants, I guess? Maybe she's throwing other giants. But, sure. Brigade's command. So this is the Kithkin command. 3 mana. This is better. This is more what I was expecting. It is a sorcery, so it's slow, which is sad. But create a token that's a copy of target Kithkin. Sure. Target player creates a 1/1. Sure. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Target creature you control fights target creature. Yeah, this is good. 3 mana, make a copy of a Kithkin, and then fight. Fine. 3 mana, make a copy of a Kithkin and an extra 1/1. 3 mana, create a 1/1 and fight. You probably ignore the +3/+3 unless you need it for the fight. But, yeah. This is, because this only costs 3, this is a much more reliable spell I would pick up. I would pick this up if I am playing green or white and be willing to splash for it, because I think this is just generally good. What the fuck is this? Catharsis? Okay. A 6-mana 3/4 with Evoke, so you can cast it and then sack it afterwards. When this creature enters, if double white was spent to cast it, create 2/1/1 green and white Kithkin creature tokens. Sure. If double red was spent to cast it, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain haste into them. Interesting. So have they got a new set of Evoke Elementals that do stuff, that do this? So, this essentially is, if you have 6 and you're in red and white, get a 3/4, 2/1/1s, give everyone +1/+1 and haste. But you can play it for 2 if you just want 2/1/1s, or if you want to give everyone +1/+1 and haste. As long as you play double red or double white, you get the effect on the Evoke. But if you pay it for 6, you can probably do both. This is a cool way of doing the Evoke Elementals. I think I might have seen... I think I've seen the red-green version of this, because I think it's... I think it's in one of the decks I was looking. It does, like, 3 damage or searches for a land. I don't know. We'll see if we get past it. This is cool. I like this. And a very good card. I imagine all of these are going to be very good cards, right? Chaos Spewer. 3 mana. When this creature enters, you may pay 2. If you don't, blight. Yep. And it's a 3 mana 5/4. This is probably just, like, strong enough to be good. Alright, here's my 3 mana 5/4. And I put 2 -1/-1 counters on something else. Either on itself to make it a 3/2, or just on another, like, 1/1 token, or like the Vile Slamasher thing, so it dies and puts a -1/-1 counter on something you have, and then I have a 3 mana 5/4. Right, this is the sort of -1/-1 shenanigans I like, where you can push off their counters onto something else, and just have a fat dude instead. This being in red-black is weird, but I'm kind of for it. Chitinous Graspling, a 4 mana 3/4 changeling with reach. Sure. Sure. Deceit. Yeah, so they're all named after something as well, because this was Catharsis. So they're all named after specific things. Deceit is a 6 mana 5/5. Again, you can evoke it. So for double blue, return 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. For double black, target opponent reveals their hand, choose non-land card from it, discard that card. And if you do both, and if you pay the full 6 and you can do both, you bounce something and then can make them discard it. Man, I like these elementals. These are cool. Yeah. This isn't as good as the last one. The last one made tokens, or was just like another overrun that gave haste. But this is still cool. Like, I think for the Evoke is weaker. Like, it's a 2 mana bounce, or a 2 mana discard, both of which are just kind of like fine. But if you can play this one for the 6, it is remove the problem, and then I have a 5/5, which is probably better than the last one. But then the last one, you maybe just kill. I think for its full mana cost, this is, what, a 4/5 with haste and 2 2/2s, so like 8 damage if if there's nothing to block it. Whereas this just bounces and removes something, but this could be like bounce your Planeswalker and then you discard it, and I no longer have a Planeswalker to deal with. Like, this could just do nothing. This could be put onto a board where your opponent's just bigger than you are, and just nothing happens. This will always do something, right? You can always at least make them discard. I like these new elementals. All these elementals are going to be bombs. They're all going to be bombs. But I like this elemental. Deep Channel Duelist. 2 mana 2/2. At the beginning of your end step, untap target merfolk. Other merfolk you control get +1/+1. Of course, this is going to be good in the merfolk deck. This is probably the card you're looking for when you are doing your merfolk deck build. Deepway Navigator is a 2 mana 2/2 with flash. When it enters, untap each other merfolk. Fucking hell, okay. As long as you're attacked with 3 or more merfolk this turn, merfolk you control get +1/+0. I think this is better because it's +1/+1. But this untapping all merfolk you control at instant speed is crazy. Because you can just swing out, crunch your opponent for a bunch, and then you could just like flash this guy in and untap on your opponent's turn after they've attacked to just start eating things. So I like this guy's enters effect more, but I think this is like probably just a better card to have, just because other merfolk get +1/+1 is way better than as long as you attack with 3 or more merfolk get +1/+0. Right? Like that second line of text is better than this one, but this flash when it enters untap is really good as well. Doran Besieged by Time. Speaking of, hey, Doran, buddy, how you doing? Again, the first commander deck I ever actually played on Magic Online, not Arena, this is like old school online, Magic Online, was a Doran deck. The original Doran, the one that just had, it made all creatures hit with their ass. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen Doran. One second. So he's the same colours as Doran before. So he's still white, black, green, so he's the same colours. I think Doran was originally a 0/5 as well, so he's still a 0/5. Each creature spell you cast with toughness greater than its power costs 1 less. Cool. Whenever a creature you control attacks or blocks, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the difference between its power and toughness. But this did old Doran let creatures with defender attack? I feel like it did. Give me a second. Doran Siege Tower. No, it didn't. So it cost 1. This costs 1 more than Doran, but that's fine because you get the first, because it's a lot more. And it just says each creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. So that's old Doran. Well, this guy doesn't even do that, right? You don't assign power. You don't assign damage equal to your toughness. You just get a big boost in power. I don't know if I can evaluate this as a limited card. I mean, maybe there's enough cards in the set to make this good, but I don't really know. I like Doran, so I'm going to say great card. Brilliant card. I don't know. I like Doran. Again, I have a soft spot for him because he was the first commander I made. So, sure. Let's just go with the great card. Dream Harvest. 7 mana in... What the fuck does this do? Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they have exiled cards with total mana value 5 or greater this way. Until end of turn, you may cast cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. I mean, in Limited, this is... I get some stuff from the top of your library. In like, multiplayer games, this is bananas. But in like a single 1v1, this is just kind of fine, right? Like you're paying 7 to get 5 mana because it's each opponent, so only your opponent's going to do this. This is just like spending extra mana to be rude. But I don't think this is a good card. This is the first miss of the multicolored cards. I don't think this is good. Eclipsed Boggart. Okay. Triple red and black for a 2/3. When it enters, look at the top 4 cards of your library, reveal a goblin, swamp, or mountain, put it into your hand, put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Yep. Good. I mean, it's not crazy good. It's just, you know, it's look at the top, get whatever, get what you want as long as you hit. Like, assuming you're playing a goblin deck and you are in red and black, this is going to hit something. So, sure. Eclipsed Elf, same things for Elf, Swamp, or Forest. Again, exactly the same. Good, sure. Flamekin, exactly the same for Elemental Island or Mountain. Good. This one's only a 1/4. 2/3, 3/2. These are both fine. This is only a 1/4, which is a bit but still, the effect is fine. Kithkin is a 2-mana 2/1. Sure. Marrow is a 3-mana 2/3. Yeah, for the merfolk. Yes. Okay. These are all very, very exactly the same. If you're playing that archetype, you take these cards. Right? If you're in Merfolk, take the Eclipse Merfolk. If you're in Kithkin, take the Eclipse Kithkin. If you're in Elementals, take the Eclipse Flamekin. Elves, Eclipsed Elf, and Goblins, Eclipsed Goblin. You just take them if you are in it, because they're gonna be useful. Emptiness, another incarnation. 6 mana 3/5. When it enters, if double white was spent, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's good. For 2 mana. Yep. And if double black was spent to cast it, put 3 -1/-1 counters on up to 1 target creature. My favorite one so far. It is reanimate and perhaps a kill spell. If you're evoking it for 2, it is a kill spell. Or a reanimate, and if you're playing it for 6, it is reanimate something and also probably kill somebody. Kill a creature. My favorite one so far, definitely. They're all so cool. I like these elemental incarnations. Feisty Spikeling. A 2-mana 2/1. During your turn, it has First Strike. That's actually not bad. First Strike's one of the better fighting keywords, so this is actually something your opponent's just not going to block for a while until they have something that has 3 toughness. So, this actually isn't bad. Not good, but I would take this if I was doing white-red aggro stuff, and I had the option for this, because First Strike. Figure of Fable. There's a wall of text here. Oh, this is another one of the, like, evolving ones. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. 1 mana 1/1. And then for 1 mana again, it can become a Kithkin Scout that's actually a 2/3. For 3 mana, if it is already a scout, so you have to do the first one first, it becomes a soldier and is a 4/5. And then for 6 mana, if it is already a soldier, so you have to have done the 2 above it, it becomes a Kithkin Avatar that's a 7/8 and protection from your opponents. Which I guess means it can't be hit by anything apart. It can't be attacked or... So it can't be damaged, targeted, or blocked by anything your opponents control. So you have to board wipe this thing out of existence? Sure. I mean, this is a lot of setup, and there's ages before you actually get the chance. Like, to do this from bottom to top costs 1, 2, 5... 11, no. Yeah, 11 mana. You're not going to do all that in 1 turn. And your opponent can respond whenever you try and trigger it anyway. But I think I've seen these, I've definitely seen something like this before. I think these are cool. And I don't hate it. I would play this if I was in Kithkin. Because it could just get completely out of hand if your opponent doesn't have the removal. Flaring Cinder. 3 mana 3/2 when it enters, and whenever you cast a spell with mana 3 or fewer, you may discard a card if you do draw. Okay, sure. Loot. Yeah, whatever. Gangly Stompling. A 3 mana 4/2 changeling with trample. Yeah, it's not great. Sure. Glister. What the fuck is an oof? What is this? Why is this random creature just here? I don't know what this is. Whatever. It's a 5 mana for a 1/4. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another type creature gets +X until end turn, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control, which is probably going to be 2. Sure. This one isn't very exciting. We haven't really seen what blue-green does, though. I don't know what blue-green is about, so maybe this is it, but sure, whatever. Grub's Command. 5 mana again. Oof. Okay. Choose 2. Create a token that's a copy of target. It's also a sorcery, so it's slow. Create a token that's a copy of target goblin you control. Sure. Creatures target player controls gets +1/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. Destroy target artifact or creature. Okay, so it does have creature removal. Target player mills 5 cards, then puts each goblin card milled this way into their hand. This is expensive. Maybe because it actually just has removal on it with the destroy target artifact or creature. Maybe it's good enough. But 5 mana... 5 mana is expensive. But I guess you could 5 mana, destroy your opponent's biggest thing, give your creatures +1/+1 and haste, and then maybe kill something. I don't know. Again, I'm not really feeling this one. Doesn't do any -1/-1 shenanigans. All its best mode is destroy something, which you pay 3 for, not 5. And then the other modes I don't really know how much you care for. Right, like the bottom one is like bad Muxus. Because Muxus puts them onto the battlefield, and this is just fucking crap. The top one is create a token of a goblin, sure, but all of them have been create tokens of a specific thing. And then the target creatures get +1/+1 and gain haste is fine, but like whatever. Yeah, I don't like this one either. I still think the Kithkin one's the best so far. High Perfect Morkant. A 4-mana 4/4. Whenever High Perfect Morkant or another elf you control enters, each opponent blights. Tap 3 untapped elves you control proliferate. I think I've seen this before because I think Moldhound reacted to this thing because people asked him to. This is... So, fortunately, the elves didn't have a massive amount of waves to, like, spawn elves out of their anus. Like, we didn't have that, like... Generally in elves, there's, like, an elf that's like, yeah, tap 2 mana, vomit an elf because I said so. They don't have that, not that we saw in green, at least. So, like... This isn't going to be going completely insane. But still, if you're playing black-green and you've got 17 creatures or 15 creatures... and 15 of them are elves, this is still going to be annoying as fuck to deal with if you can't kill it immediately. And then, like, in Commander, this is probably just going to go fucking stupid. I mean, again, if you see this card, you probably take it and play elves, because it is just going to be really fucking obnoxious to deal with. Yeah. Yeah. Hovel Hurler is a 5-mana 6/7, but it comes in with 2 counters, so it's actually a 4/5. And you can remove a counter from it to give another target creature +1/+0 and flying until end of turn. Okay. Sure. I like -1/-1 stuff. I like this having interactions with it and removing them as well. It gives things flying, which is good. Yeah. And it's also just big, right? Like, by the time you've removed the 2 counters from this, it's just a 6/7. Just big. Not good, but it's, like, fine. And it's the uncommon for red-white, so sure. Tyrol Attentive First Year? Why is there a vampire here? Where'd you come from? 3 mana for a 3/3. Sure. Tap 2 untapped creatures you control. Copy target triggered ability you control. Sure, whatever. There's probably something that makes this busted. I'm not going to think about it. Lorwyn Imperfect Naturalist. 2 mana for a 1/3. When it enters, mill 4 cards, then you may put a creature or land card from the milled cards on top of your library. Then, for 5, discard a land, create a 1/1 black and green worm creature token for each land card in your graveyard. This is cool. I like this. I thought it was going to be a black and green elf token, and I almost jacked my pants because this exists. But it's worm tokens. That's fine. I wish they had something more, like give them, I don't know, trample or Death Touch or something. Give the worms some sort of keyword. But I guess you're probably making a lot of them, right? If you're milling and you say you've discarded like 3 or 4 lands. This is pay 5, discard a land, create 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 black-green worms. Is that good enough in limited? Probably, right? This is probably good enough if they can't kill this to just vomit worms until they die. Because, like, you're only going to need, like, 8 mana. So the other 8 mana that you have in your 16, 17 land deck, 8, 9 mana, you can just shove in the graveyard and just turn into worms. That's a lot of worms. This is probably good. Marilyn Fey Ascendant. Okay, is a 5 mana 4/5 flyer. You're an elf fairy? Okay, sure. Whenever Marilyn or another elf or fairy you control enters, exile the top 2 cards of target opponent's library. So the fairies do make a lot of tokens. With like the Bitter Blossom Carrier or whatever. And like some other stuff. The fairies were making tokens and just had like cheap fairies, right? Once each turn, you may cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of elves and fairies you control from among cards exiled with Marilyn this turn without paying its mana cost. I guess if you can't decide between elves or fairies, this lady lets you do both. Sure. I don't know how good this is as a limited card. But it's probably annoying enough, right? You can probably just use this to just... This is just like, hey, I've got Marilyn, and your opponent just goes, ah, for fuck's sake. And if they don't have any way to remove it from your field, you just start playing things and then getting their cards for free. This probably really upsets someone. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I don't think it's great, but I think it's entertaining enough that I would definitely play it. If I saw this in like my first like 5, 6 picks, or if I was in elves already and I saw this, or in fairies already and I saw this, I would 100% go for it. Merrow Skin Swimmer. 5 mana for a 2/2. Does have Convoke. Flying Vigilance when it enters, create a 1/1. This is overpriced garbage, but it has flying, so you probably take it anyway, because limited. Right? As sad as that is. Ugh. Mischievous Sneakling. 2 mana, 2/2 with flash. Sure. That's all I got on that. Flash it in as a blocker. Flash it into at the end of your turn, and then you have another 2/2, or the end of your opponent's turn, you have another 2/2 to attack him with. Like, sure, whatever. Moorcant's Loyalist. 3 mana, 3/2. Other elves get +1/+1. Yep. Whenever this creature dies, return another target elf card from your graveyard to your hand. Sure. All elves getting +1/+1 is what you want this for. It is good if you are playing elves. If you see it, and you are playing elves, take it. Noggle Robber. A 3 mana, 3/3. When it enters or dies, create a treasure token. Sure. Yep, it's a 3 mana, 3/3, so already fine, and it makes treasures when it comes in or when it dies. Totally fine with that. It's a good card. Prideful Feastling, a 3 mana, 2/3 with lifelink. Sure. I don't think I like it as much as this one with flash, but sure, lifelink's a good keyword, so. Raiding Schemes. 5 mana for an enchantment. Each non-creature spell you cast has Conspire. Which is, as you cast a non-creature spell, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control that share a color with it. When you do, copy it and you may choose new targets for the copy. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. This is bad. Like, this, again, this is 5 mana, do nothing. Your opponent's gonna fucking beat your ass for 5 mana, do nothing. Right? This is bad. Your opponents are going to beat you fucking stupid for 5 mana, do nothing. Reaping Willow is a 4 mana 3/6 with lifelink. Okay, so it's a 4 mana 1/4 with lifelink. You can remove 2 counters from it. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yep, this is a good card. Love this card. Again, -1/-1 counter synergy, and it's got reanimate, and it's got lifelink, and it's a decent body. Fuck yes. All about it. Sonar Innovative First Year is a 4 mana 2/4 Vivid at the beginning of your first main phase. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X non-land cards, where X is the number of colors. So 2. Until you reveal 2 non-land cards. For each of these... Okay, for each of these colors, you may exile a card of that color from among the revealed cards, then shuffle. You may cast the exiled cards this turn. I don't like these Vivid cards. I feel like unless you've got some serious reason to go 5 color, this or whatever, these Vivid cards just aren't particularly good. Unless you've got like crazy lands that let you play it, yeah, and this one's not massively exciting. You get a number of cards. It's like card draw, but you have to play them. Does happen at the beginning of your first main phase, so yeah, yeah, I don't like this. Again, maybe it's me, like it just doesn't excite me. It's not going to kill your opponent. It's just going to let you play solitaire a little bit more, and I don't give a fuck about that. Shadow Urchin, a 3 mana 3/4. It's another oof. I don't know what that is. Whenever this creature attacks, blight 1. Sure. Whenever a creature you control with 1 or more counters on it dies, exile that many cards from the top of your library until your next end step. You may play those cards. So, when it says, whenever a creature you control with 1 or more counters dies, exile that many cards, is that many equal to the number of counters on it? It's gotta be, right? Whenever a creature you control with 1 or more counters on it dies, exile that many cards, or is it cards, you exile a card every time something dies? This is written weirdly. I don't know whenever a creature you control with 1 or more counters on it dies, exile that many cards. That many is what? The number of counters? Am I being stupid? Is this really obvious? It's equal to the counters, right? Has to be. It's worded weirdly. I don't know. Probably a good card. I feel like it's worded weirdly and it's thrown my brain off a little bit. Probably a good card. Okay. Stoic Grove Guide. 5 mana, 5/4 that has, for 2, exile card from your graveyard, create an elf. Sure. Elves that make elves. It's not as good as the, 1 mana Kithkin that makes another Kithkin for 1 mana, but sure. 6 command. 3 mana. Okay, another cheap one. So, choose 2, create it's a sorcery, so it's slow. Create a token that's a copy of target merfolk. Sure. Creatures target player's control gains lifelink until end of turn. That's good. Target player draws a card. Yep, tap target creature, put a stun counter on it. So you probably just 3 mana draw a card, tap a creature, put a stun counter on it. You give your creatures lifelink if you're planning on absolutely crushing your opponent's face in and want the heal, and you copy a Merfolk if you have something really crazy you want to copy. Again, this costs 3. I'd play this in most blue-white just for the draw a card and put a stun counter on something. Right, like you don't have to be playing Merfolk for this to be good. The 5 mana ones, you have to like very specifically need them for something, right? Like this is just like a fine card for 3. Okay. Yeah, this one's good as well as the Kithkin one. Tam, Mindful First Year, is a 2-mana 2/2. Each other creature you control has hexproof from each of its colors. Target creature you control becomes all colors until end of turn. Right. So if you have this lady, you can then start vividing people for 5. But if you're planning on playing a 5-color deck of vivid stuff, I suppose you just play blue-green vivid, and then every time you go to play a vivid spell, you use her to make it trigger for 5. But what were the blue and green vivid spells that were that good? Like, the damage one was in red, right? Right? Maybe you play blue, green, red? And then you just use her to trigger every vivid spell as though it's 5. So I think the only way you can make vivid work is with this lady, right? Assuming there's not like some 5-color thing you can do. Which makes her good if you see her early, and then, because I imagine people aren't going to prioritize the vivid cards, because people are going to be like, I'm not playing more than 2 colors, this is ass. So if you get her in like your first pack, maybe you can like cobble together some batshit green, blue, red vivid deck that you use her to trigger everything as though it's 5, but if your opponent just kills this girl, she does nothing. Because she can't protect herself, because she gives each other creature you control hexproof, and she's legendary, so... Thought Weft Lieutenant. Okay. 2 mana for a 2/2. Whenever this or another Kithkin you control enters, target creature you control gets +1/+1 against trample. Sure. So this is like the medium. So the white Kithkin are making Kithkin, and the green Kithkin are getting big and beating people up. And this guy helps you do that even more. Sure. Tristan's Command. Okay. The green-black command. This costs 6? Okay. Choose 2. Create a token that's copy an elf. Sure. Return one or 2 target permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. Destroy target creature or enchantment. Creatures target player controls says overrun. I mean, maybe like overrun. It's overrun, but without trample, though. This is expensive. Again, this costs 6. Yeah, I think this one specifically because it's all creatures getting +3/+3 and you untap them. Maybe this one's fine because like overrun costs 5, so this costing 6 isn't that big of an increase, and you get to destroy a creature. I think this is fine, but it's still fucking pricey. I think if you go in green-black, though, I think you can take this just for destroy and overrun. And also the return 2 permanents is decent as well. It's not incredible, but it's decent. Create a token that's a copy of target elf is very dependent on what elves you've got, but I think that the bottom 2, destroy target creature, and then all your stuff gets +3/+3 and untaps, is just kind of good enough to make this worth the 6. Just. They don't get trampled, though, which makes me sad. Twin Flame Travelers. 4 mana for a 3/3 flyer. You're going to use this because it's flying. If a triggered ability of another elemental you control triggers, it triggers an additional time. Sure. I don't know what elemental stuff we've seen. Well, the thing is, aren't all of the invocations elementals? So this would double up your invocation elemental stuff, which would be very good. Oh, sure. Vibrance. This is the one I've seen. Yeah. 5 mana for a 4/4. When it enters, if double red was used, it deals 3 damage to any target. If double green, you can search your library for a land, put it into your hand, gain 2 life. So it's bad ramp for 2, but it is bolt for 2, which is good on the red side. And then for 5, you get a 4/4, bolt something, and get bad ramp. Again, I just like these elemental incarnations. These are just good. Is this the last one? This might be the last one. Yeah, I like these incarnations. Voracious Tome Skimmer. A 3 mana 2/3 flyer. Whenever you cast a spell during your opponent's turn, you may pay 1 life if you do draw a card. Yep. That's going to be good. Because so many of the fairies have flash, right? So many of them had flash. And were like, then they had a bunch of like instant spells. So this is going to be. Wary Farmer. 3 mana for a 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, if another creature enters the battlefield under your control this turn, surveil 1. Sure, this is very generic, but probably does something. I mean, it's a 3 mana 3/3, so you're taking it for that, but there's upside to it, so sure. Wistfulness. Hey, there is another one. Okay. 5 mana for a 6/5. If double green was spent to cast it, exile target artifact or enchantment. Okay, if double blue was spent to cast it, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. This one's not as good, I think. I mean, you probably just play it for the blue side if you're going to evoke it, unless there's like an enchantment or artifact that is really going to break you. For 5, this being a 6/5 that gets rid of an artifact, draws you 2 cards, and then you discard a card. This is really good for... Or this is good for 5, right? Not really good. This is good for 5, but the evoke ones are a bit weak on this. Because, like, destroy... Exile target artifact or enchantment, you probably don't care that much about, unless, like I say, it's something that's absolutely going to destroy you. And draw 2 cards, discard a card. I mean... Sure. I don't know how much you care about that. Hey, okay. That's the end of the colours. We're on to the artifacts. Nice. Celebratory drink. Okay. Alright. The first artifact. So, what do I think of the green? So, what do I think of the multicolor cards, actually? There's a lot of good stuff in here. I love these new elemental incarnations that all have evoke. These all slap. I'm still not sure about the Shadow Urchin. This threw me a little bit. But there's some really, like, Reaping Willow I like. There's obviously all the elves getting +1/+1. Marilyn seems, like, funny. Not necessarily good, but very funny to play. There is some weird ones, like this guy and the bird at the start just seem very, like, out of nowhere. Are these supposed to be... Because we're going to Strixhaven next, right? Like, Secrets of Strixhaven. So are these, like, Strixhaven students? Because they're first years, right? So are these, like, Strixhaven students that are on here for some reason? And next set, we'll see what happens to them. Is that maybe what we're looking at here? Yeah, some of these commands are a bit shit for how much they cost. But apart from that, I think most of them are pretty cool. I love these elemental incarnations. They look so cool. Good to see Doran again. Even if I don't know if he's any good. But yeah, there's just these... I can't get over these incarnations looking very cool. Yeah, this guy as well. He does look like one of the bird guys from Strixhaven, right? I think maybe these are all Strixhaven students and they're going to lead into the next set release because the next set is returning to Strixhaven. Sure. But yeah, I honestly, the elemental incarnations are just so cool. I kind of got sidetracked by that. But there's a lot of good. I mean, again, the gold cards or the multicolor cards are going to be where you get most of your power usually in a set. And there's certainly some cards that, you know, can give you some power in this set. Right, on to artifacts, which usually I'm kind of just like, whatever, artifacts are kind of crappy, but see if there's any good ones. Chronicle of Victory, 6 mana. Legendary artifact. As Chronicle of Victory enters, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +2/+2, have first strike, and trample. Whenever you cast a spell of a chosen type, draw a card. Very expensive, but if you play this, you probably just win. Right? If your opponent doesn't have a way to remove it. You're playing all elves, or all elementals, or all Kithkin. Whatever you're playing as your primary archetype, if you play this and name that creature type, you probably just win. Because everything on your board getting +2/+2, first strike, and trample is just not something your opponent's going to be able to deal with unless they destroy this realistically. So I think this is just game winning. If you get it and you're doing a specific archetype, it's going to win you the game. Dawn Blessed Pendant. 1 mana. As it enters, choose elemental, elf, fairy, giant, goblin, Kithkin, merfolk, or tree folk. Whenever a permanent of the chosen type enters, gain 1 life, sacrifice it, return target card of the chosen type from your graveyard to draw. If you need some like healing, this isn't terrible. It doesn't really do a massive amount, but okay. Not the worst artifact I've ever seen. It's just not exciting either. Burdock Core. 3 mana changeling. Oh, it's a mana rock. Add 1 mana of any color, and you can make it into a 4/4. I would not play it. Unless you're trying to do some 5-color thing, but. Foraging Wickermore. 2 mana for a 1/3 when it enters Surveil 1. And you can tap, add 1 mana of any color, or tap 1, add 1 mana of any color. This creature becomes that color until end of turn. I guess another way to trigger the burden stuff, but this is kind of just Gathering Stone. 4 mana. As it enters, choose a creature type. Spells you cast the chosen type cost 1 less. Good. When this artifact enters, and at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. Card of the chosen type, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. Don't put the card into your hand, you may put it into your graveyard. Okay, again, if you're doing like a single archetype, this is really good. Again, the issue is it's a 4 mana artifact that is 4 mana do nothing. So again, this is one of my if you're playing an artifact or enchantment on turn 4, 5, or 6 that doesn't do anything immediately to the creatures on the board, get ready to get your ass beat. It's going to happen. You are going to get... Like, this is why this is so good. Because you play this on turn 6, and immediately all your creatures are +2/+2, first strike, and trample. That affects the board immediately, unless your board is empty. If your board is empty on turn 6, either somebody board wiped or you fucked. Right? There ain't no way of looking at that in a good light. So, again, this is 4 mana. I do fucking nothing, which is a good way to get yourself beaten to a paste. Mirror Mind Crown. In limited, at least. 4 mana equipment. As long as the equipped creature is attached... As long as this equipment is attached to a creature, the first time you would create 1 or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many tokens that are copies of equipped creature. Okay. Nah. Again, this costs 4 mana to play and doesn't automatically equip itself and doesn't do anything unless you cast a spell on the creature that it is equipped to make tokens. Or not necessarily cast a spell on the creature, but cast a spell to make tokens later. This is, again, 4 mana to do nothing. It's a damn good way to get your ass beat. Puka's Eye. 2 mana artifact. When it enters, draw a card, then choose a color. This artifact becomes the chosen color. Cool. And for 3, draw a card, activate only if there are 3. If there are 5 colors among permanents you control. So it looks like artifacts are going to help Verdant out a little bit, so that's kind of cool. And this one is, 2 mana, draw a card, so this isn't awful. And you can just make it the color you don't have in your deck. So then you always have something that triggers it. And then you can draw more cards later. I don't hate this. I just don't know if it's worth it unless you are specifically trying to trigger Verdant. Sorry, I fucking lost my words there. Trying to trigger Verdant for its full 5 mana. Like 5 colors. But, which I don't know if that's going to be worth it. I mean, I'm going to probably try it at some point, but I don't think it's going to be good. Springleaf Drum. I think we've... Springleaf Drum exists, right? Yeah, 1 mana, tap an untapped creature, add 1 mana of any color. Yeah, Springleaf Drum exists. It's good in certain things. I don't think it's going to be good in limited. Stalactite Dagger. 2 mana, when it enters, create a 1/1 colorless shapeshift creature token. Sure. And equipped creature gets +1/+1 is all creature types. Fine. It comes with a 1/1, so that's not terrible. So I don't hate it, but it's not particularly exciting either. Hey! We've got the tap lands, or the shock lands even. So there's the Swamp Mountain shock land. Eclipsed Realms. As this land enters, choose Elemental, Elf, Fairy, Giant, Goblin, Kithkin, Merfolk, or Treefolk. Add colorless or add 1 mana of any color only to cast the chosen type. Or activate ability system. Sure. Evolving Wilds is back. There's the Shockland, and the Shockland, and the Shockland. I actually had multiple Temple Gardens at one point, but I think I've sold them all at this point. I like Temple Gardens. Good. I had way better art. This isn't the most exciting art. And there's the full art lands. That's it. We did it. We're done. What do I think of the artifacts? As per usual, not particularly excited. I think this Puka's Eye is kind of cool to try and make Verdant work. And obviously this Chronicle of Victory is I pay 6 mana and if you don't stop it, I probably just win the game. Everything else, like mediocre, bad, 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 bad. Springleaf Drum is great, but not really in limited. And then bad, right? There just was not anything particularly incredible. Overall, what do I think of the set? Alright. Again, I ranted about this at the start. I'll do another little quick mention. I'm so glad we are finally having another Magic set. Like a proper Magic set. Not Avatar, not Final Fantasy, a Magic set. Right? And again, I do not hate Universes Beyond. I'm not interested in Universes Beyond, is my thing. I just don't really find them interesting and engaging. Because it's just random IPs and now they're Magic cards. Even for IPs, I love 40k. They had a 40k Commander stuff, and I just wasn't interested because if I want to play 40k, I'll go play 40k games. I don't want it in my Magic as well. And I don't know. It's just, yeah. I don't really care for Universes Beyond. And I don't hate that they exist because they do pull players that don't play Magic into playing Magic. What I hate is that Wizards clearly spends a lot more time, money, and energy on promoting the Universes Beyond stuff over their normal Magic set. we knew more about the cards that were coming in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles set, which is 2 sets away, I think, before we knew anything about the Lorwyn Eclipsed. Right? They spoiled like 30, 40 cards from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before a single Lorwyn Eclipse card came out. Right? Apart from maybe one or two cards. Like, I wish they would put as much effort into promoting their normal Magic sets as they do into promoting Universes Beyond. Like, we know all of the Universes Beyond sets for this year, and probably some of the cards in a lot of them, but we know what, like, apart from Lorwyn Eclipsed, I mean, the next what set is, whatchamacallit, is, what are the MTG? It's Strixhaven. MTG, what is it called? Schedule. Okay, so no, we've got Lorwyn Eclipsed, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then Strixhaven, and then we've got... So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is in 2026. Is in March 2020. Obviously, it's in 2026. Is in March. But we knew more about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff before the Lorwyn Eclipse stuff, realistically. If you went on Mythic spoilers, if you went on Mythic spoilers in December, you knew more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards than Lorwyn Eclipse cards. Right? And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is still 2 months away. And then you've got the Secrets of Strixhaven, which will probably be a good card, which will probably be cool. And then we've got 2 back-to-back Universes Beyond sets with Marvel Superheroes and The Hobbit. And then we've got Reality Fracture, which we know nothing about. And then we've got the Star Trek one. So, again, I'm going to ignore for the moment that we've got 4 Universes Beyond and only 3 real Magic sets. Right? I'm just going to leave that alone. Just put as much effort into the normal sets as you do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sets. Like, if after the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set drops, Secrets of Strixhaven just has a huge like trailer and shows like 50 cards, even though it's going to be... It's 1 month. Okay, you know what? There's pointless, right? This is so... there's just... Again, we're now up to 7 sets, and it's just too much. It's too many sets. I have to admit, 4 of them I don't care about. Like, we might do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because my husband's dad really likes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My father-in-law really likes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so we might go check that out just so he can enjoy it. But I don't care about that. The Marvel superheroes I don't care about. The Hobbit I don't care about. And the Star Trek I don't care about. Hey, at least I don't have to spend a massive amount of money this year. We might not even set review the Universes Beyond sets, because I'm really getting tired of this fucking crap. But yeah, have we got anything? If I go on to... So, on Mythic Spoiler, there's, what, 5, 10... wait, these full art versions of the same thing? No. 5, 10, 15, 20... 5 of them are lands, so 21 cards, and some of them are just reprints. 21 cards. Do we know anything about Strixhaven? That's old Strixhaven. No. No. And like... I know you're going to be like, oh yeah, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is the next upcoming. But like, we had these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles spoilers before Christmas. Those what was it, 21 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle spoilers were on like the end of last year's Comic-Con, right? It was like October, November time that we saw all of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle spoilers. Again, that's like 5-6 months ahead of the set. And they forgot fucking Lorwyn Eclipsed even existed until 2 weeks ago. And Secrets of Strixhaven, I mean, I would be very surprised if we see anything from Secrets of Strixhaven until like, again, 2 weeks, maybe a month beforehand. They're not putting any effort. I'm assuming because of how much money the Lord of the Rings and the Final Fantasy and Avatar made them, they're just kind of all in on Universes Beyond. But I know I'm not the only one. There is a lot of Magic players who just do not give a fuck. They just do not care about Universes Beyond. They just want normal Magic sets with planeswalkers and planes and all of the regular stuff in it. And again, I'm not here to say, yeah, they shouldn't do Universes Beyond, because Universes Beyond does pull in a lot of people from outside of the set, which is great, from outside of like Magic in general, which is great. But put effort, if you think it right, if Wizards think they can do 7 sets a year, which is what they're currently doing, put the same amount of money, time, and energy into showing off each of the 7 sets. Don't put it all into the 4 Universes Beyond sets and then accidentally the 3 normal sets 2 weeks before 2 weeks before they drop. Right? Actually do the if you want to increase the number of sets and then tell everybody, oh yeah, if you don't like the set, then don't interact with it, but there are people out there that like it, so we want to make it for them. Great, cool, fine. But make sure you put the same amount of effort in, because you're clearly not. You're clearly all in on the Universes Beyond sets, and you don't give a fuck about your Magic IP, because it doesn't make you as much money. I guess. I don't know. But like, come on, Wizards. It's not that hard. If you think you can do it, if you say you can do it, do it. Don't just stop saying one thing and then doing something completely different with it. Like they push. I mean, do you remember? I remember when the Final Fantasy Commander decks were revealed. I remember being like, holy shit, this set doesn't come out for fucking 6-7 months yet, and you can already pre-order the Commander decks? What the fuck is this? And what, the Lorwyn Commander deck, the Blight Curse, I ordered last week because that's when they revealed it. It's like last Tuesday. Like, it was literally... It was legit like last Tuesday they revealed the Commander decks. Maybe a couple of days before that. Your pre-release is this week. What do you mean? And like I said, I was going to do this set review last Friday, right? A week before the pre-release. A week before the cards become available and everyone can play them. Because I know they're not going to be available on everything, but most people that want to play the set will play it on a pre-release. Or will at least go and buy one of the pre-release boxes so they can get some of the cards in. Or whatever, right? I imagine a lot of people will at least try. 1 week beforehand, and I couldn't do the set review because you didn't have all of the cards up yet. I could have fucking set reviewed the Final Fantasy set 3 months in advance! Come on! You can at least try and make it not so blatantly fucking obvious. I don't know. Anyway, another small rant from me there, and I know everyone's just there like, God, we don't give a shit. Are you done with this card review yet? Yes, I am done with the card review. I'm gonna go rage into the ether for a bit and then let my throat rest because it fucking hurts. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow should be Pokemon Coliseum. It'll only be a 4-hour stream because we've got to go out and do stuff tomorrow. So it'll only be from 10 till 2. Wednesday I will be off, and then Thursday we'll be back with something. I need to actually. I think we're gonna do Red Faction. Just because the Red Faction will be a game I can play with my brain turned off and blow everything up, and then we can move on to Resident Evil when the new Requiem when it comes out in a month and a bit. And then Friday will probably be more League, unless Lorwyn Eclipsed is available on MTG Arena, but I don't think it is. So probably more League. And then Saturday will probably be more Warframe, unless something happens and there's something else for me to. But I imagine more Warframe. So yeah, until then, thank you to everyone who came in and watched. Miko, Kunga, Zeraktal, it was good to see and chat with all of you. Drexen as well, thank you very much. It was good to sort of see and chat with everybody. And even if you just sort of came in and sat here and watched me review cards and then listened to me rant like an idiot at the start or the end. Again, thank you very much to everyone who came in. Your support is massively appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow. And until then, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all later.